A clique of ballerinas sneered at a black girl's every ply, their venom cutting through the studio, until her dance, forged by a prima ballerina's fire, unveiled a prodigy whose grace shattered their cruelty. Amara Johnson, a 14-year-old black girl from Atlanta, faced relentless bullying at an elite ballet studio, her peers dismissing her as an outsider. Unknown to them, Amara was a prodigy sculpted by a legendary prima ballerina, her talent poised to transform scorn into awe. This wasn't just a dance class. It was a radiant, unyielding stand for identity, resilience, and triumph, weaving a legacy that uplifted her community and redefined the stage. Before we plunge into this blazing story of dancing through hate, drop a comment and tell me where you're vibing from. If this tale of a black girl turning cruelty into artistry strikes your soul, hit that like button and join narratives of black struggles for more raw truths about America's racial fight. Your support fuels these stories. Picture an Atlanta ballet studio, where mirrors gleam and shade cuts deep, but one girl's about to face a storm she didn't summon. Amara Johnson, charged with grace and steel, steps into a battle she didn't choose, her truth aflame ready to claim the spotlight. Let's dive into the story, where the fire ignites. Amara's point shoes whispered secrets on the hardwood of Studio B, Atlanta Ballet Academy. Each step a quiet rebellion against the sun's golden glare. June 7th, 2025. Mirrors stretched like endless judges, catching the late afternoon's glow, the air thick with rosin dust, sweat, and the phantom hum of a piano's last chord. At 14, Amara was a storm cloaked in stillness, braids coiled into a regal crown, brown eyes sharp as a blade slicing through fog, her black leotard tracing her frame like ink spilled on parchment. A silver locket, etched with a dancer's silhouette, a gift from her mentor, Ms. Elise, danced at her chest, its weight a heartbeat, her mother Simone's voice a soft hymn. Dance your truth, child. You're forged for this. She was here for advanced ballet, her muscles humming, her heart tuned to the rhythm of a grand jeté. But a clique of girls' venomous whispers slithered through the studio, turning it into a battlefield, her blackness a mark in a world of pirouettes and privilege. The Academy, a midtown temple to dance, shimmered with prestige. White walls draped with sepia portraits of prima ballerinas, their pale limbs frozen in eternal arabesque, a legacy Amara ached to rewrite. From Mechanicsville's cracked sidewalks, where gospel choirs spilled from church doors, where vendors hawked sweet tea and peach cobbler, she'd danced since 5, her gift caught by Ms. Elise Dubois, a black prima ballerina whose private lessons carved her into a prodigy. A citywide audition at 12 earned her a scholarship here, a key to dreams of Juilliard, of stages vast as the night sky. Her locket, given after her first recital at 7, was her talisman, its tiny dancer a mirror of her soul. Simone, a nurse stitching together double shifts, waited outside in their weathered Honda, her text aflare. Shine, baby. Amara's breath steadied, her mother's love her anchor, Mechanicsville's pulse her rhythm. She set her dance bag by the bar, her point shoes, scuffed, stitched, loved, drawing sharp glances. 20 girls stretched, their leotards a pastel parade, their buns sleek as porcelain. Chloe, 15, blonde curls escaping her bun like tendrils of spite, led her clique. Emma and Lily, by the mirrors, their laughter jagged, their gazes like thorns. Look at those shoes, Chloe hissed, her voice a splinter, blue eyes glinting with malice. So raggedy. She's got to be lost. Emma's snicker cut the air, her ponytail bobbing. Yeah, this ain't her world. Lily's whisper stabbed deeper. Scholarship kid, probably can't even ply right. The shade was a whip, lashing Amara's blackness, their words a gauntlet thrown in a studio that demanded grace but hoarded it from her kind. Amara's chest constricted, her fingers grazing her locket, its cool metal grounding her, but she stretched deeper, her leg arcing high, her focus a fortress against their venom. She'd tasted shade before, school kids mocking her braids as ghetto, teachers murmuring ballet was not her path, neighbors whispering her dreams were too big for Mechanicsville. Dance your truth. Ms. Claire, the instructor, a white woman with gray-streaked hair and a voice like cracked ice, swept in, clapping. Plies, first position now. Amara flowed into place, her body a river, her heart sinking with the piano's pulse, each note a step toward her dream. Chloe's voice slithered, loud enough to pierce. She's so stiff, faking it. Emma's giggle echoed. Bet she's here for the clout, not the art. Lily's jab landed like a stone. Not ballerina material, that's for damn sure. The mirrors threw their words back, a jury of glass amplifying their cruelty. The studio a stage where Amara's blackness was on trial. Her blood simmered, a quiet roar beneath her skin, but she held her form, her ply deep as a prayer, her arms soft as moonlight spilling over Atlanta's streets. Miss Claire's eyes flicked over the class. Amara, extend your port de bras, let it breathe. Amara's arms soared, her grace a silent rebellion, her body weaving a story of Mechanicsville's grit. Church pews creaking under gospel weight, street vendors' calls, Simone's hands kneading her shoulders after midnight shifts. Chloe's eyes narrowed, her voice a hiss. Trying too hard, huh? Emma's point shoes tapped in sync, a mocking rhythm. She's gonna crash. Lily's laugh was a blade. No way she lasts here. The studio's air thickened, their shade a shadow creeping across the floor, the other girls, some silent, some whispering, forming a jury of onlookers. Amara's fouette spun, her body a whirlwind, each turn a defiance, her focus a blade slicing through their scorn. Miss Claire nodded, her voice rare with praise. Strong. Amara, keep that line. Chloe scoffed, her voice carrying. Lucky spin, she can't keep that up. The studio stirred, girls glancing, some rolling their eyes, others stretching in uneasy silence, the air crackling with judgment. Amara's heart pounded, her locket warm against her chest, but she danced on, Ms. Elisa's voice a fire in her veins. Your grace is your power, Amara. She'd trained under a prima ballerina, her talent a flame kindled in Elisa's tiny Mechanicsville studio, her blackness a crown she refused to dim. The shade was a spark, Chloe's sneers a match, the studio a battlefield where her dance would blaze. Class ended, Miss Claire's voice cutting through the hum. Showcase auditions next week, solos and group pieces. Best performers star, scouts will be watching. Amara grabbed her bag, her muscles singing, her heart heavy with the weight of their words. Chloe blocked her path, her tutu rustling like a warning, her voice sweet but laced with poison. Don't bother auditioning, Amara. You don't fit ballet's aesthetic. Emma smirked, her arms crossed. Yeah, stick to something more, your style. Lily's laugh was a dagger. Like, street dancing or whatever. Their shade was a lash, a jab at her blackness. The studio a stage for their cruelty, the mirrors amplifying their verdict. Amara's chest burned, her locket a pulse, but she stood tall, her voice steady, her eyes unyielding. I'm here to dance, not bow to your shade. Step aside. Chloe's smirk wavered, her crew parting like curtains, the air electric, a storm about to break. Simone's text buzzed through her phone. You okay, baby? Amara's fingers traced her locket, its dancer a mirror of her soul, Ms. Elisa's words ablaze. Your grace is your power. She was a prodigy, forged in Elisa's fire, her talent a secret weapon, her blackness a crown she'd wear at the audition. The sneers were echoes, fading against her resolve. Chloe's shade a match that would ignite her flame. The studio a battlefield where Amara's dance would rewrite the verdict, her truth poised to claim the stage and silence their cruelty forever. The dawn's amber light spilled through Studio B's tall windows at the Atlanta Ballet Academy. June 14, 2025, a week after Chloe's clique lashed Amara Johnson with sneers, their venom a strike against her blackness. Amara stood at the center of the hardwood, her black leotard a canvas of defiance, braids coiled like a warrior's crown, brown eyes fierce as a hawk slicing through mist, her silver locket, Ms. Elisa's dancer-etched gift, pulsing at her chest. At 14, she was a spark poised to flare, her scuffed point shoes steady, her body a live wire for the showcase audition, her heart a drumbeat of resolve. Simone's voice hummed like a gospel refrain. Dance your truth, child. Chloe's taunts, you don't fit, lingered like smoke, but Amara's secret, she was a prodigy molded by prima ballerina Ms. Elise Dubois, was a flame ready to roar, her grace set to burn their shade to ash, her dance a rebellion in a studio of mirrors and malice. The studio was a crucible, its mirrors reflecting 20 girls in pastel leotards, their movements sharp as glass. Chloe's clique, Emma and Lily, huddled by the mirrors, their whispers jagged like thorns. Miss Claire, gray-streaked and stern, swept in, her clap a thunderbolt. Solo variations, showcase auditions now. Amara stretched, her locket warm against her skin, her eyes tracing the room. Chloe's smirk curling like smoke, Emma's sidelong glance, Lily's pursed lips. She'll choke, Chloe hissed, her voice a splinter, her crew snickering, their shade a shadow creeping across the floor. Amara's chest tightened, but she breathed deep, Mechanicsville's heartbeat. Gospel choirs soaring, street vendors' calls, Simone's hands kneading her shoulders, her armor against their venom. Simone's text lit her phone. Shine, baby, you're my star. Ms. Elise's voice roared through her veins. Your grace is your power, Amara. The piano's notes stirred, a tide pulling Amara to the center. Miss Claire's voice crisp. Amara, Swan Lake, Odette's variation. She stepped forward, her body unfurling like a lotus, arms soft as moonlight, legs arcing like the curve of a river, her fouettes a storm of silk and steel. The studio fell silent, a hush swallowing Chloe's smirk, Emma's eyes widening, Lily's jaw slackening. Amara's dance was a spell, her technique a blade honed by Elise's fire, her soul a river pouring through each step, each turn a defiance of their scorn. Her arabesque held, a line of light, her eyes burning with Mechanicsville's grit. Church pews creaking, street markets humming, Simone's love aflame. Miss Claire's voice broke the trance, stunning. Amara, a masterwork of heart and form. The girls clapped, some hesitant, Chloe's hands still, her shade crumbling like ash in the wind. Amara's breath steadied, her locket a pulse, but Chloe rallied, her voice sharp as a shard. One good dance doesn't make her legit. Emma nodded, her ponytail bobbing. Total fluke, she'll fade. Lily's whisper was faint. Yeah, not star material. Their shade was a ghost, their words hollow against Amara's fire. Miss Claire cut through, her voice firm, her eyes locking on Chloe. Amara's trained by Ms. Elise Dubois, a prima ballerina who danced for kings. She's no fluke. She's exceptional. The studio gasped, a ripple of whispers. Girls leaning in, Chloe's face draining to chalk, Emma's eyes darting, Lily's hands twisting. Amara stood tall, her voice steady, her gaze ablade. I dance for my soul, not your approval. Jaden, her cousin, filmed from the hallway, his ex-live soaring to 5 million views. Cuz is a prodigy, y'all. #Ballet bias. The reveal was a torch, Chloe's shade ash, Amara's grace a wildfire, her prodigy's status a crown forged in Elise's Mechanicsville studio. Miss Claire assigned groups for the showcase, pairing Amara with Chloe, Emma, and Lily, their vibe a taut wire stretched to snapping. Collaborate. No excuses, she said, her eyes piercing Chloe's. Amara took the lead, her voice calm but forged in steel. Let's sink the pot a cotter, tight lines, no gaps. Chloe scoffed, her tutu rustling like a warning, but she followed, her steps grudging, Emma and Lily falling in, their shade muted under Amara's command. The piano pulsed, their movements weaving, Amara's arms a melody, Chloe's a shadow, Emma and Lily threading the rhythm. Miss Claire nodded. Amara, your lead is gold. Keep it. Chloe's eyes flickered, her venom dulled, her crew quiet, the studio shifting, girls nodding, some whispering respect, the mirrors reflecting a new verdict. Amara's heart thumped, her locket a beacon, Simone's voice a gospel swell, dance your truth. Her training, Ms. Elise's relentless drills, her prima ballerina's fire, was her shield, each ply a memory of Mechanicsville's church basements, each jeté a leap over shade. Ms. Elise had taught her to dance through pain, to carve beauty from scorn, her studio a sanctuary where Amara's blackness was a crown, not a curse. The showcase loomed like a horizon, a stage where her dance would blaze. Chloe's clique set to face the full force of her flame. Jaden's ex-post, Cuz is running the show. #Ballet bias. Hit 7 million views, comments hyping. Slay Amara. The studio was her battlefield, her grace a weapon, Her Prodigy, a light reshaping the room. A memory flickered. Ms. Elise's studio, 2018, Amara 7. Her tiny leotard a burst of pink. Elise's voice a melody. You're a star, child, born to shine. Simone's night shifts funded lessons, her tears falling as Amara spun, her hands weary from hospital rounds. That vow, dance, no shade, a legacy, burned bright, a flame kindled in Mechanicsville's heart. The studio was Amara's sky, Chloe's shade dust, her fight ablaze ready to consume the echoes of their cruelty, her truth poised to claim the stage and rewrite the narrative. Studio A at the Atlanta Ballet Academy thrummed under the twilight's violet haze. June 21, 2025, 2 weeks after Amara Johnson's Prodigy reveal, forged by Prima Ballerina Ms. Elise Dubois. Muted Chloe's clique's venom, their shade wilting under the radiance of her grace. Amara stood at the bar, her black leotard a canvas of defiance, braids coiled like a warrior's crown, brown eyes blazing like a Mechanicsville sunrise, her silver locket, Ms. Elise's gift, gleaming like a star. At 14, she was a rising tide, her point shoes steady as stone, her body a symphony tuned for showcase rehearsals, her heart a drumbeat of triumph. Chloe, Emma, and Lily rehearsed beside her, their vibe a fragile truce, their shade buried but restless, like embers under ash. Simone's voice sang like a gospel hymn, dance your truth, child. Amara's ascent was ablaze, her hustle a stare to the heavens, her dance a legacy for her community, ready to claim the sky. The studio was alive, mirrors catching 25 girls in pastel leotards, their movements sharp as blades, the piano's notes swelling like a tide, Miss Claire directing with a conductor's precision. Group piece, Giselle, Act 2, perfect sync, no excuses. Amara led her group, her body a poem, arms soft as breath, legs soaring like wings, her soul threading through each step, a tapestry of Mechanicsville's grit. Chloe followed, her steps precise but earthbound, her blonde curls trembling, Emma and Lily in line, their eyes wary, their shade dimmed like a candle in a storm. Clips of Amara's audition had soared to 20 million views, comments hyping. Black Prodigy. She's fire. Simone sat outside in the Honda, her text aflare. You're my star, baby. Ms. Elise, 70, watched from a velvet chair, her cane steady, her voice a velvet command. Amara, let your soul lead, child. Chloe's whisper crept through the music, a thorn in the air. She's not that special, just hyped up. Emma nodded, her ponytail flicking. Yeah, Elise can't make her a star. Lily stayed silent, her eyes darting, her shade a ghost fading under Amara's light. Amara's locket warmed, her focus ablade, her training, Ms. Elise's studio, her Prima Ballerina's fire, her fortress. She danced through shade, school kids calling her braids ghetto, teachers saying ballet was not her lane, neighbors whispering her dreams were too vast for Mechanicsville streets. Miss Claire's voice cut through. Amara, your lead is luminous, keep it pure. Amara's group synced, their pas de quatre a heartbeat, Chloe's ego bruising as her steps faltered, Emma and Lily matching Amara's line, their shade bending like reeds in a gale. Amara's voice was calm, forged in steel. Tighten the pas de deux, Chloe, match the arc. Chloe bristled, her tutu rustling, but adjusted, her movements grudging, Emma and Lily following, their eyes flickering with reluctant respect. The piano pulsed, their dance weaving. Amara's arms a melody, Chloe's a shadow, Emma and Lily threading the rhythm like threads in a tapestry. Miss Claire clapped, her voice rare with awe. Amara, your lead is gold, groups showcase ready. Jaden's X live from the hallway. Cuz is leading the squad. Hashtag ballet bias. Hit 10 million views. Comments roaring. Slay Amara. The studio shifted, girls nodding, some whispering respect, Chloe's clique fracturing, the mirrors reflecting a new verdict, Amara's grace the tide reshaping the room. Ms. Elise rose, her cane tapping, her voice a spark. Amara, your soul's your strength. Dance like the world's watching, child. Chloe overheard, her voice low, a thorn dulled. Why is she the favorite? Elise's eyes blazed, her cane a scepter. She's a prodigy, Chloe, forged in fire. Learn her heart, not her steps. The studio hushed, Chloe's face flushing like a wilted rose. Emma and Lily silent, their shade ash scattered by Elise's truth. Amara's group nailed the piece, their sync a heartbeat, Miss Claire's voice ringing. Amara, you're carrying this showcase. Simone's voice pulsed like a gospel swell. Dance your truth. The showcase was a horizon, a stage where Amara's dance would blaze, her ascent a fire, Chloe's shade dust under her point shoes. Amara's heart thumped, her locket a beacon, her training a tapestry. Ms. Elise's drills in her Mechanicsville studio, her Prima Ballerina's fire kindling Amara's soul, each ply a memory of church basements where gospel choirs sang, each jeté a leap over shade. Elise had taught her to dance through pain, to carve beauty from scorn, her studio a sanctuary where Amara's blackness was a crown, not a chain. The other girls, some now nodding, others still whispering, formed a new jury, their eyes softer, their shade fading. Jaden's ex-post, "Cuz is climbing to the stars." Hashtag Ballet Bias. Hit 12 million views. Comments hyping. Queen Amara. The studio was her battlefield, her grace a weapon, her prodigy a light reshaping the mirror's verdict. A memory surged. Ms. Elise's studio, 2020, Amara 9. Her leotard a burst of blue, Elise's voice fierce. You're my legacy, child, a star born to blaze. Simone's night shifts funded lessons, her hands trembling from hospital rounds, her tears falling as Amara leaped. That vow, dance, no shade, a legacy, burned eternal, a flame kindled in Mechanicsville's heart, where church choirs sang and street vendors called. The studio was Amara's ascent, Chloe's shade dust, her fight a climb to the stars, her truth ablaze ready to illuminate the showcase and silence the echoes of their cruelty. The Grand Theater at the Atlanta Ballet Academy blazed under July's spotlight, July 15, 2025, a month after Amara Johnson's Prodigy reveal turned Chloe's clique's venom into awe, her grace carving a path for the summer showcase. Amara stood backstage, her white Giselle tutu a cloud of starlight, braids coiled like a warrior's crown, brown eyes blazing like a Mechanicsville dawn, her silver locket, Ms. Elise's gift, glinting like a beacon. At 14, she was a radiant force, her point shoes laced tight, her body a live wire for the group piece and solo, her heart racing to claim the stage. Chloe, Emma, and Lily warmed up nearby, their pastel tutus soft, their vibe humbled, their shade buried like ash under Amara's fire. Simone's voice sang like a gospel hymn, "Dance your truth, child." Amara's radiance was a wildfire, her hustle a stage, her dance a legacy for her community, ready to illuminate the world. The theater was a crucible, 800 seats brimming with families, scouts, critics, the air thick with anticipation, the velvet curtain a promise heavy with dreams. Clips of Amara's rehearsals had soared to 40 million views, comments roaring. Black Prodigy. Queen Amara. Simone sat front row, her nurse scrubs traded for a crimson dress, her eyes glistening like dew on Georgia peaches. Ms. Elise, 70, leaned on her cane beside her, her voice a velvet whisper. Amara, your soul's the light, child. Chloe's group stretched backstage, their eyes avoiding Amara's, their shade dust scattered by her ascent. Miss Claire, gray-streaked and stern, directed from the wings. Group piece first, then solos. Amara, you close the show. Amara nodded, her locket warm, her training, Ms. Elise's Prima Ballerina rigor, her shield, her blackness a crown forged in Mechanicsville's heart. The curtain rose, Giselle's music swelling like a tide, Amara leading her group, her body a poem, arms soft as breath, legs soaring like wings, her soul a river threading through each step. Chloe followed, her steps crisp but earthbound, her blonde curls trembling, Emma and Lily in line, their movements a quiet hymn to Amara's lead. The audience gasped, their claps a thunder, scouts scribbling furiously, critics nodding in rare unison. Miss Claire's voice echoed backstage. Flawless, Amara, you're carrying them. Chloe's face softened, her shade gone, her eyes flickering with reluctant respect. Emma and Lily bowed with Amara, their vibe transformed, their pastel tutus a faint echo of her white brilliance. Jaden's ex live from the audience. Cuz is owning the stage. Hashtag ballet bias. Hit 20 million views. Comments roaring. Slay Amara. Amara's solo, Swan Lake, Odette's variation, closed the show, the piano's notes a tide pulling her to the center, her body a storm, her fouette's a whirlwind of silk and steel. Her arms were wings, her legs arcs of light, her soul a river pouring through each step, each turn a defiance of shade, a celebration of Mechanicsville's grit. Church pews creaking, street vendors' calls, Simone's hands kneading her shoulders after midnight shifts. The audience surged to their feet, a roar shaking the theater, Simone sobbing, her crimson dress aflame, Ms. Elise clapping, her cane a scepter, scouts rushing backstage, critics scribbling. Chloe bowed beside Amara, her voice soft, almost inaudible. You're incredible, Amara. Her shade was dust, her clique's venom ash, Amara's radiance a supernova, her blackness a crown. A Juilliard scout pushed through the wings, his voice urgent. Full scholarship, Ms. Johnson. We need you. The Atlanta Ballet Company offered a youth contract, their director's eyes wide. You're our future, Amara. The audience's roar lingered, Mechanicsville families chanting her name, their voices a gospel swell. Jaden's ex-post. Cuz just crowned the stage. Hashtag ballet bias. Hit 25 million views, comments hyping. Queen Amara. The theater was her stage, her radiance a beacon, her community lifted by her light. Amara bowed, her locket gleaming, her soul a river, her truth a blaze that rewrote the mirror's verdict, silencing Chloe's clique and igniting her legacy. A memory bloomed, Ms. Elise's studio, 2022, Amara 11. Her leotard a burst of blue, Elise's voice fierce. You're a queen, child, born to blaze. Simone's night shifts funded lessons, her love a fire, her tears falling as Amara leaped, her hands weary from hospital rounds. That vow, dance, no shade, a legacy, shone bright, a flame kindled in Mechanicsville's heart, where church choirs sang and street vendors called. The theater was Amara's radiance, Chloe's shade dust, her fight a beacon that would burn eternal, her dance a crown for her community. The Grand Theater at the Atlanta Ballet Academy shimmered under October's golden lights. October 15, 2025, 3 months after Amara Johnson's showcase crowned her a prodigy, her grace silencing Chloe's clique and lifting Mechanicsville's soul. Amara stood center stage, her nutcracker sugar plum fairy tutu a constellation of starlight, braids coiled like a queen's crown, brown eyes blazing like a Mechanicsville star, her silver locket, Ms. Elise's gift, glinting like a beacon. At 14, she was a sovereign, her point shoes steady as stone, her heart soaring for the holiday gala, her legacy a crown forged in fire. Chloe, Emma, and Lily danced in the corps de ballet, their pastel tutus soft, their shade ash, their respect to quiet him to Amara's light. Simone's voice sang like a gospel swell, dance your truth, child. Amara's crown was ablaze, her hustle a movement, her dance a legacy for Atlanta, eternal. The theater was a kingdom, 1,500 seats packed with families, scouts, critics, Mechanicsville roaring like a choir, the air thick with dreams, the velvet curtain a tapestry of hope. Clips of Amara's showcase had soared to 120 million views, comments hyping. Black Prodigy. Queen Amara. Simone sat front row, her crimson dress aflame, her eyes glistening like dew on Georgia peaches, her nurse's hands clasped in prayer. Ms. Elise, 70, leaned on her cane beside her, her voice a velvet whisper. You're my crown, Amara, my star. Chloe's corps performed, their steps crisp, their vibe transformed, their pastel tutus a faint echo of Amara's glittering brilliance. The audience clapped, their voices warm, but the air held its breath for Amara, her solo the gala's heart. The music swelled, a tide of strings pulling Amara to the center, her body a symphony, pirouettes spiraling like galaxies, her arms a melody of moonlight, her legs arcs of light, her soul a river pouring through each step. Her dance was a rebellion, a celebration of Mechanicsville's grit. Church pews creaking under gospel weight, street vendors' calls, Simone's hands kneading her shoulders after midnight shifts, Ms. Elise's fire kindling her heart. The audience surged to their feet, a roar shaking the theater's bones, Simone weeping, her tears a river, Ms. Elise clapping, her cane a scepter, scouts offering contracts, critics scribbling in awe. Chloe approached post-curtain, her voice soft, her eyes low. You changed us, Amara. I'm sorry. Her shade was dust, her clique's venom ash, their respect to quiet him to Amara's crown. Juilliard confirmed a full scholarship, their letter a promise. We await your light, Miss Johnson. The Atlanta Ballet Company offered a principal role in their youth ensemble, their director's voice urgent. You're our future, Amara. International companies, Paris, New York, London, sent invitations, their scouts crowding backstage. X-trended. Black ballerina crowns Atlanta. #Ballet bias. Amara launched a Mechanicsville dance program, funded by her gala's proceeds, teaching kids in church basements, her voice loud. Dance your truth, y'all. No shade can dim your light. Simone's sacrifices, night shifts, empty cupboards, were her foundation, Ms. Elise's fire, her Prima Ballerina's legacy, her spark, Mechanicsville's love, choirs, vendors, neighbors, her crown, her blackness a radiant light that redefined the stage. The audience's roar lingered, Mechanicsville families chanting her name, their voices a gospel swell, their hands raised like a congregation. Jaden's X Live, 'cause is a queen, y'all. #Ballet bias, hit 150 million views, comments roaring, Queen Amara. The theater was her kingdom, her crown ablaze, her legacy a star that would burn eternal. Amara bowed, her locket gleaming, her soul a river, her truth a wildfire that rewrote the mirror's verdict, silencing shade and igniting a movement for her community, for Atlanta, for the world. A memory flared. Ms. Elise's studio, 2023, Amara 12, her leotard a burst of violet, Elise's voice fierce. You're my star, child, a queen born to reign. Simone's shifts funded lessons, her love aflame, her tears falling as Amara leaped, her hands weary from hospital rounds, her heart a furnace. That vow, dance, no shade, a legacy, shown eternal, a crown forged in Mechanicsville's heart, where church choirs sang, street vendors called, and neighbors held each other through storms. The theater was Amara's kingdom, Chloe's shade dust, her fight a crown that would light the world, her dance a legacy that would never fade. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to know what true strength looks like. Join us at Narratives of Black Struggles for more stories that shine a light on resilience and justice.